Okay, everyone. Okay, I'm Dr. Puva. Okay, we will be presenting about scaling up. Okay, so for the first question, how can successful grassroots SDG initiates be systemically scaled across regions? So our points are, first, we have to identify the goals, methods, priorities, and also the community where we're going to scale up. Okay, and then build frameworks that such as data collection, templates, modules, guidance, TOT, capacity building, public participation, partnership, collaboration with local organizations like NGOs. Okay. The third point will be acceptance by local community. That community have to accept our efforts. Okay. Then number 4, engage policy and institutional supports. Number 5, create database of successful projects, which was past projects that held there. Okay. Then mobile funding for scaling. Look for PPP fundings. Okay. Then impact matrix management and measurement. Okay. Then we will go for feedback, monitor, evaluate, and improve. And then we can ask for the feedbacks as well. Finally, we have to tell our success story. Okay, that's for number 1. Number 2, what are the best practices that we can replicate? Okay, we have to create step by step the guidance and also SOP. Next, create short videos, okay, for those that nowadays social media is there, so we create short videos, okay. Then create awareness using local and cultural relevance. So far, okay? Any question?
Just nice.
Kalau ada question? No.
Okay, no question, right? Thank you, group Scaling Up A. Give a round of applause for them. Now I'm inviting Financing Group A. Please come forward. One presenter.
Okay, timing starts when? Now. Okay. All right. Hi everyone. So when we talk about financing, is a core things lah when we run our NGO or even the social enterprise. So the keyword here is how to establish a consistent and accessible financing channel. So first, we need to diversify our funding sources, where we got the money, right? So usually for things that revolve around SDG, social enterprise, we can expect to have a government grants and also allocation. Usually every year they have like a budget also for this one, okay? Especially if it relate to SDG, which is Sustainable Development Goals. Number 2 is that corporate CSR and also ESG funding. So usually for a big company or corporate, they have certain allocations to work together with NGO to drive their CSR. This is because they are expected to produce a sustainability report, and under a sustainability report also, they are expected to have a CSR initiative. So some company will drive their CSR through their own manpower or staff, but some also actually have allocations to work with other NGOs. So you can also look out for that one. And then philanthropy and also foundations. So philanthropy is basically someone that's super rich, they have extra money, they want to be generous, do good to the society. And also foundations. Foundation is basically any yayasan lah. So yayasan usually work as a central body where they receive money perhaps from philanthropists or government grant. So they are the middle persons. And sometimes they also work together with other NGOs to channel the money back to benefit the society. And last but not least is basically the crowdfunding and also community financing lah. Basically, you can expect people maybe to chip in, do some donations and everything. But this one is very, very, I think you don't rely on it too much, okay? And then number two is you need to develop the mechanism for financial sustainability to make sure your business run well. So you need to make sure you have a model of your business, okay? And then you need to think of a way on treat all of this financial support that you get, whether it's grant or whether it's your money or donations, as a and then you need to think of a way on throughout the years, after maybe 2-3 years, you need to think also of a way to sustain your business to make sure that it covers your operational costs. So think about it, and how from this revenue that you get, you make sure that you think of a way also on how you can give back to the society. Make sure you think of a matrices also that related to this SDG to make sure that you can continue to get the SDG fund as well. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, Group Financing Group A. Before I proceed to Financing Group B, may I know, there's a question from Scaling Up. Just for 2 minutes.
So just about financing, something not really a question I want to share. What I learned about philanthropy, even if you have RM1, you are richer than the person who has no money. So it's a fallacy because there are no rich people that I know who is doing river restoration. None, right? But I'm not a rich person, but yet I've been able to sustain it without funding and without grants, right? So if you kedekut, even if you have RM1, you are poor. So never anyone think that you have nothing to contribute. You are the philanthropist, even if you give your time. So that part should be put in. The second one, my colleagues have been going to all the COPs since 2015. Every year I ask them, so where's the loss and damage and the climate adaptation money? Did you get any? Zero. 15 years, 10 years now of asking money from COP, you never get the money for adaptation. Meanwhile, just now somebody said, right, people die from floods. So what do? If the money doesn't come, we all die, is it? Right? So the real power is, what can you do without money? Right? Because if you keep depending on money, go home and sleep.
All right, okay. Good. Fair comments afterwards. But when we talk about financing, but yes, even without money also, you still can do good. We are doing well by doing good anyway.
All right, thank you. Before I'm calling up Financing Group B, may I know whether the group Scaling Up and the Financing Group A, do we have any notes, the repertoire notes? No? Only the mahjong paper? Okay. Okay, now we proceed to Financing Group B. Please come forward, presenter for 3 minutes.
Hi, my name is Dom. I'd like to introduce our group. Also, we've got Shafa, Marilyn. You want to come as well, Clement? Shafa, just come. Give me some support. Jolene, Sandra. In our group, we have a mixture of social enterprise, community, NGO, I think. All right. So, firstly is about the financing sources. We wrote a few here. Philanthropic is one of them. I just want to give a story. I've also been involved in another community where we banta highway. And actually, out of the blue, one day someone said that because you're collecting 50,000 ringgit for judicial review, every 10,000 you get donation from the crowd, I'll match it with another 10,000 all the way until if you reach your 70,000 goal. So we had a philanthropist pop up out of nowhere. And I have another project that I'll also approach this philanthropist. But the problem is, I wouldn't know how to identify the philanthropist because if I keep knocking on doors, I probably won't hit it. So, wishful thinking is that if there was a network more structured, like what we hear from rich countries, that would be fantastic. Partnership with corporates. I know that, for instance, like Jolene and Shida, you have partnership with corporates, and you have either partnerships and so forth. You can probably talk more about that, and it'll work well for you. Jolene, you want to say anything about partnership with corporates? Not really. Okay. Maybe during question time, I can pass the mic over. Government grants and other actors. So there is seed funding is one of them. A few of us here are ex-WWF. We actually seen this money move through before. Crowdsourcing, I think there's a lot of innovative ways you can do it now. One thing I wanted to share was, and if there are movers and shakers in the room, this would be really awesome. During my trip to India a few years ago, I heard that in India, then 1% of companies above a certain revenue need to mandatorily donate their money for CSR. And now I heard it's 2%. So if there are movers and shakers in the room, there will be also another locked up capital that could happen. And then what Kennedy said is very true. I've met a very inspiring conservationist, which Kids in Nature recently when she's in Pasir Gajah, and there's none other than Dr. Pelf. She has actually used her stakeholders to make services and products to generate revenue. Very, very innovative. Now, what I wanted to say was that navigating financing through stages is also very important. If you come from the startup world, you will know that you need seed. After seed, you will go through some other place, and Series A, Series B. Need the same thing for philanthropy as well. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Financing Group B. Is there any questions?
Kennedy. Wait, don't come back. Don't desert me.
Not a question or a critic, but for those of you who don't know, UNDP has a climate finance lab, so you can go and sign on. Last month they had a session about philanthropy for climate finance. So it's if you're looking for funding and partnerships and collaborations, go to the UNDP site, look for the climate finance lab, and then poke around in there.
Thank you so much. Sorry. Any questions? None. Thank you very much.
All right, calling up next, Partnership Strategies Group A.
All right, we are from the group partnership. One of the important key points for a good partnership is actually on building a long-term relationship. In partnership, we need to ensure that the trust is built. So there's the needs of a long-term partnership. So along the way, we can actually build the relationship through capacity building, to ensure that everyone who participates can grow together, they have the same understanding. Along the way, the trust can be built. And then, of course, the holistic approach, we need to ensure that every partner is given an equal role in decision-making. For example, if you go to the Orang Asli Kampung, the Orang Asli need to be in the decision-making or policy-making role so that they have a role in the partnership. So participatory approach. As I mentioned earlier, there need to be a transparent communication. And when we have in a locality, for example, in Sarawak, it's good if you can communicate in the local language, for example, and ensure that everyone, each and everyone, need to be get involved in every level of process. The best practices is it need to be a self-sustained practices where local ownership, resources, and revenue need to be created. For example, a project need to be localized, and then to ensure that the resources and revenue established at the locality. so that the project can sustain. Resilience and scale up. Every project that we can develop need to be adapt to changes according to the condition and also able to expand whenever the needs are there. And of course, a good business model like social enterprise is a best practices for sustainability projects. Like our, for example, the river project is actually self-sustained. They have a business model where they actually transfer the knowledge and then generate income to sustain the project. And of course, economic and social returns to ensure deliver of both financial and measurable social and environmental benefits. That means every project, if it can be under the, for example, the ESG model, so it will be more economical and social returns. Intergenerational sustainability to ensure that program or project can sustain in long term. So the knowledge and the system need to be continued. So the legacy will be transferred to their family or whoever that involved in the project. And important is the stakeholder engagement. In this part, the best practices share progress and challenges transparently, regularly, continually. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Partnership Strategies Group A. Is there any question? Okay.
Because no one else is talking, right? So just the sharing. We have a partnership with Jolene and Shida from NOTS. We've worked with Dr. Zida. So we create partnerships based on one thing, value. What value do you bring and what value the other person have? We have a lot of people, kids from universities who write to us and say, oh, we want to collaborate with you. And so I say, what do you bring to the table? Right? So this value creation, understanding that everything in life is energy exchange. There is actually no free lunch, right? So it gets circulated. So what is the value of your partnership?
Thank you.
Thank you, Kennedy. Okay, right up next, Partnership Strategies Group B.
Okey, boleh mula ya? Okey. Alright, okay. Okay, Assalamualaikum dan selamat petang ya. So we have two questions. So the first question is, how can partnership move beyond symbolic collaboration to genuine co-creation with grassroots actor? Sama juga dengan grup tadi. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to list down the 10 criteria that we have to answer this question, dan kemudian Shirley akan bentangkan sedikit tentang best practice di Tenom. Okay, the 10 criteria untuk go beyond symbolic collaboration is, pertama, we have to begin with issue mapping to understand the community and also looking into shared values. Sebab culture di tempat lain adalah berbeza according to where you are. You need to do prioritization when you have done the issue mapping. Kita kena build trust for long-term commitment. Mesti ada two-way feedback antara the solution provider dan the community. We need to be inclusive and include diverse perspective. Keenam, long-term and sustainable engagement and monitoring. Tak boleh saja one-off, it has to be continuous. And then we have community ownership, itu penting. Nombor 8, to put it as a long-term, kita mesti build capacity building and entrepreneurship to strengthen relationship. 9, multi-stakeholder engagement, which Shirley will explain a bit more. Dan ke-10 ialah continuous bridging and mediation, because this is a political process. It has to be long-term. Okay, Shirley.
I just worried time is not enough. So the best practice ada banyak, tetapi saya ambil satu contoh untuk Tenom sahaja, di mana ini melibatkan gerak kerja saya pada ketika ini, iaitu di Tenom kami ada dengan berdasarkan yang ini, so kita buat penubuhan jawatan kuasa di peringkat daerah di mana all the issue kita akan keluarkan di sana dan menerima maklum balas. Mana maklum balas yang tidak boleh di-share dengan yang lain tu kita boleh adakan pocket meeting bersamalah dengan jabatan-jabatan. So perkongsian penyelesaian daripada pelbagai agensi berdasarkan pemetaan isu yang akan dilaksanakan, kita keluarkan pendapat bersama. Jika penyelesaian dia memerlukan bajet yang di peringkat lebih, so kita akan bawa ke peringkat lebih tinggi. Contohnya untuk tanam, tanah runtuh. Okay. Tanah runtuh dia memerlukan kos yang tinggi dan juga masalah penyaluran air bersih. Dia kena pindah dari kanan ke kiri. So masalah itu DO sendiri yang keluarkan sebab kenapa? Dia sudah trust dengan saya. So dia share kekangan daripada daerah dia tu dan dia minta untuk saya bawa ke peringkat lebih tinggi. Ke bawah ke peringkat daerah, lebih ke negeri. So itu akan saya bawalah selepas ni. Saya rasa itu je, saya takut ni masa. Saya tengok je balik-balik. Risau. Sebab selalu, bila saya buat monitoring dengan Mr. Pani, saya selalu, Shelly, please stop. Kawan-kawan saya suruh berhenti. So hari ni saya berhenti. Saya berhenti 10 minit, 10 saat lagi.
Is there any question from the floor?
Oh my God. Let doktor yang jawab.
So this one, yes, is a question for Dr. Zida. Can you share a little bit about building trust? What does it mean and how does it work on both sides?
I think the issue mapping comes from the best practice of IPPGM SDG because they do issue mapping. So, you know, they start with the needs of the community. So they have a approach or method for that. But for me, it's also, you have to look into the shared value. Sebab katalah dia punya budaya, culture of the place, how they prioritize on your river. Di kawasan bandar dan di kampung mungkin berlainan. It is based also on your religious perspective and all that. So I think we have to look into both sides in terms of issue mapping and also the shared values. Yeah? All right, thank you. All right, terima kasih.
Thank you for Partnership Strategies Group B. Now, I will invite Impact Evaluation Group A. Please come forward.
Okay. Sorry, our boss. Mr. Pan is not right, eh? Okay. Hello, everyone. Okay. I want to explain about impact evaluation. Okay. For the first, how to know, recognize and integrate risk citizen atau identify of data impact evaluation. How we identify of data must to valid, must behave impact to citizen lah, and for primary and secondary. Okay, first we research methodology. Okay, ini sebenarnya kita melakukan melalui FGD, focus group discussion, report and secondary data analysis. Okay, for next, capacity building. Okay, capacity building ni adalah mesyuarat dengan agensi juga, di mana kita akan melihat isu-isu dan kita meneliti adakah isu itu sudah selesai ataupun masih lagi berjalan, dan kita tengok balik action from agency, apa yang sudah mereka lakukan berkaitan dengan isu itu. Okay, untuk next, berkaitan dengan mesyuarat jawatankuasa SDG, di mana semua agensi terlibat dan kita membahaskan juga berkaitan isu dan melihat balik agensi mana yang berkait dengan isu itu, sama juga kita melihat balik action, tindakan daripada pihak mereka. Okay, dan last adalah example identify of data melalui neighborhood development, micro project and CB policy solution. Actually, VLC tengah buat sekarang, iaitu FGD, baru je selesai, dan sebenarnya opportunity to our, because benda ni kami boleh tengok sendiri apa isu yang dihadapi oleh komuniti. So bila kita turun ke tapak, kita akan nampak isu yang mana sebenarnya terjadi dan boleh dibawa ke national policy solution. Next, tools frameworks can validate. We can utilize existing method system like GIS, SPSS. This data we got from FGD and we transfer to the SPSS melalui Excel. Next, MPR, melalui MPR measurement framework. Next, impact measurement and management framework, SROI, social return of investment. Sekejap, tak bernafas saya. Sekejap ya. Last. Yang ni pun baru je saya buat sebenarnya, verbatim minute jawatankuasa SDG meeting. Yang ni yang saya kata tadi, iaitu mesyuarat jawatankuasa SDG. Melalui mesyuarat itu dibuat kepada verbatim dan kita nampak impact ataupun apa yang perlu kita terapkan nanti. Thank you kepada semua.
Is there any question from the floor? Okay, now we proceed to the last group, Impact Evaluation Group B. Please come forward.
Hai, Assalamualaikum. Saya Khalida Khalid. Dan hari ini kita akan bercerita tentang impact evaluation dalam kumpulan kami. Siapa kat sini perempuan yang ada masalah baju tak berlipat, baju tak bergosok? Cuba angkat tangan. Siapa rasa itu satu masalah? Cuba, siapa rasa itu masalah? So, kita ada isu kat sini and then apa yang kita cuba buat sekarang ni adalah untuk memberi maksudnya apa impact yang kita boleh bagi pada komuniti dengan solution pada masalah ini. So kita nampak wanita bekerja ada masalah perlukan bantuan untuk servis lipat dan gosok pakaian. Ini sebagai contoh And then kita ada lebih kurang 3 juta suri rumah yang tiada pekerjaan dari rumah. Jadi apa kita buat? Kita cipta solusi dengan memberi latihan servis lipat dan gosok pakaian kepada mereka. Dan kita gunakan hashtag Ibu Bantu Ibu, iaitu untuk membantu mereka serumah menjani income dan wanita bekerja boleh relax pada hujung minggu dan bagi kasih sayang pada anak-anak. And then apa yang ni, first adalah peranan komuniti. Bila kita sebut tentang servis lipat dan gosok baju, semua orang akan gelak. Sebab benda tu orang rasa benda tu terlalu itu pun nak jadikan bisnes ke, itu pun nak jadikan ni ke. Tapi ia adalah beban yang sangat besar pada wanita. And then nombor 2, kita provide sistem. Sistem apa? Contohnya seperti ada gunakan app, kita ada order guna app. And then kerjasama dengan NGO dan dasar sokongan. Kita perlukan sokongan daripada semua untuk membantu mental health wanita ini supaya lebih bersedia dan dia ada income untuk masa hadapan.
Untuk perkara yang kedua, kita perlu adakan suara seksi sikit dah. Scorecard melalui community. Apa-apa isu yang kita bawa is supposed to become from the grassroots. The grassroots is the first layer. We need to tackle the issues in the grassroots. If we do not tackle, if we don't have the certain framework or tools, we cannot go to the other level. So we should have a system where there is a scorecard that everybody, in regardless of the leaders from the NGOs, from the government departments, for the higher authority, they should have a scorecard or a system that they can key in on the issues that can go to the nationwide. That's where we can get a correct data on it. So another way to cut the issues is from the issue mapping lah. Again, SCG, APPGM will be coming in on the issue mapping from the grassroots, whereby we have a few communities and the language is the main cause of the root. We need to use a proper language, especially when we go to the B40 ataupun orang saya cakap miskin tegar ni, kita kena gunakan audience yang betul dan perkataan yang betul dan language yang betul. Di mana kita boleh ada satu jambatan untuk bersama dengan mereka. Baru kita boleh menyelesaikan banyak masalah bersama-sama dengan mereka. Kita macam turun bersama-sama dengan rakyat dan mengenali isu-isu ni. Okeylah, kalau nak cakap tak cukup lah sehari pun. Okay, thank you so much.
Is there any question from the floor? Okay. Okay, thank you for impact evaluation group number B. So, thank you everyone. Please give a round of applause to everyone for the engaging discussion and fruitful findings.